So I was listening to CNN on the radio today, and what I heard was an idea that I've heard echoed in many different places, and that is the idea that the United States is more politically polarized and divided than ever before. This is an interesting idea that I decided to do a little bit of digging on because in my own experience, in my own social circle, it doesn't seem that people are more divided or politically polarized. It just seems that they're kind of fed up with the whole system. And so I decided, of course, thanks to Google search, I found this. I don't know if you can see this. This is like a really long study. Published in 2014 by the Pew Research Center, and I've heard other people talk about this. And I read almost this entire thing. And what's interesting is a couple of things. One is that I was kind of spot on. Most people genuinely are sort of just fed up with this whole system. But there are also like fringe groups, exceptions, that have become more polarized. Now, the interesting thing is that when I read this study, I can't help but think that maybe I don't want to call BS on it, but there is like one flaw that might render this whole thing fallacious, and that is that in this study, one of the things that wasn't covered were whether or not these people were part of a fringe. It certainly seems like the people who may have been answering these questions may have already been politically polarized, and therefore it might just be that the fringes are becoming more outspoken as a result of the internet. Now I'm going to give my opinion on this, and it is based on what I read in this article, in this study, and that is, I do believe that there is a bit more polarization, particularly amongst the fringe, but I believe that is because of the internet and how technology affects our lives nowadays. I mean, just look at what I'm doing now. I'm standing here talking to this camera. Well, the thing is that in today's world, particularly with how things like Google algorithms and how YouTube searches work, the internet, our phones, our computers, have become just sort of big echo chambers to resonate back what we already believe to be true about the world, okay? So if you already are, say, mildly conservative, or even mildly liberal, but we'll say mildly conservative, and you subscribe to maybe a few conservative blogs, or maybe you listen to a conservative radio show on the internet, Google is far more likely to bring you links to other conservative content. And so it might become a situation where it's sort of a feedback loop for yourself, where you might listen to or read a couple of conservative things, and then there's more conservative information that comes to you, so that you begin to watch and consume more conservative content, which pushes you more in the conservative direction. Now, I say conservative, but this is also true for liberals as well. I would say, though, that the main thing that I see, again, in my own social circle and in my own opinion, particularly amongst young adults, is that people are pretty much just kind of fed up with how this whole system is run. Nobody really believes that their opinions or their best interest is well represented in government, and as a result, they sort of just lose, they lose interest in politics. And this is sort of unfortunate because the only way the political system could really get fixed to represent our best interests is if we participate in it. And that's kind of the danger here. And to the same narrative, of course, young people, particularly people who are my age, which I'm about to turn 19, aren't really very interested in this political process, far less so than older people. And this is one of the reasons why Donald Trump actually won, if you look at the actual data. It's really more about young and old. Of course, Vihart made an amazing video about this and also linked to studies that showed that this information was true. And the thing is, though, is that the vast majority of young people don't even vote. Only about, I would say, 20 to 30% actually do. This is truly unfortunate, because the thing is that young people, of course, including myself, are the future of America. And so if we're fed up with the political system and don't want to participate, well, there's a problem with that, because we're not actually going to be well represented. And who knows what the future might hold. And so I leave this sort of question with you people today. What might be a good solution to help get people more interested in the political process in a way that doesn't polarize people, that doesn't radicalize people, that doesn't cause people to be more afraid of the other side, or what might bring people to be more rationally involved? In my case, it's making videos. Peace out.